In this video, we're going to focus on the show forms. So we are going to scroll down here, and as you can see there, it says show form. And essentially, we're going to talk about how you can create a show form from either a template. That's a show form that I have already created, and it's stored on the Trophy Cloud system. And one that you can customize for your particular event. I understand that all organizations are not the same, and therefore they have different ratings, categories, and things of that nature. So we want to get into allowing you to create and do the same things you've been doing, hopefully for years. We can be able to accommodate that here, all within the app. So let's get to it. So all you would do is tap here on the show form. And as you can see, it's going to say create show form. You can choose a template or create a custom template. So we're going to choose the template. And I only have 4 of them right now. But the simple way to choose a template is to kind of view the template first, which you would kind of scroll over to the right and just understand what the ratings are and the max point total. And then you also want to understand what the classifications are. I understand that sometimes for, let's say, like Corvettes, they might go from Gen 1 to Gen 7, soon hopefully to be Gen 8. And so with that being said, they keep those ratings all within those particular generations. If it is a Corvette only show, same thing if it's a Ford or Mustang or whatever particular manufacturer and make you're dealing with. But if you're not into that sort of thing, you don't need all of these various different classifications. You can go to a different, more simpler template here. So I have that template 1. Template 2 is just basically the same kind of thing, but in more abbreviated terms of Gen 1 through Gen 5. Again, this is just something that I was kind of playing around with. This won't probably be the real thing going forward. But if you have any suggestions, please email me at support@trophycloudllc.com. Again, that's support@trophycloudllc. And I can create whatever it is, hopefully, that you have there. I'll respond directly back to you within a 24-hour period. So we'll go to template 3 here, and it's just top question mark. So if you're doing, a top 3, a top 20, a top what have you, again, it's just one classification. All your ratings categories here, and whatever you have, the max point total. In this particular case, it's 120 points. And then you have the template 4, which is best in show. And again, this is a little different. You can see as far as the ratings categories go, we'll just start here from exterior quality, interior, engine compartment, wheels and tires, trunk, cleanliness, undercarriage, display, and extra points. So one of the things I wanted to talk about very briefly on the ratings category is how you see it is how it will be presented on the app. So if you have a particular order that you like to do, whether it's interior out to the exterior or exterior into the interior, meaning that you're going to look at the engine first, and then you'll go to the paint and the body, and then you'll go to the tires and wheels, undercarriage, or what have you, and then trunk, and then you'll go into the interior and start doing things. You want to have your ratings category in that order of which you kind of like judge. So right now we don't give you a way to kind of mix and match these so that you can move one up to the from what like wheels and tires and move that above the engine compartment. So really simple. All you need to do is, like in template 4, you like template 4, you select it, you submit it, right? And that's it. But let's say we want to go back and we tap on the show form again, and we say we want to create a custom template. And this is where all the fun starts to happen, because this is more so what you're going to be creating for yourselves. So I'm just going to call this right? You can call it whatever you want. It's just simple text, just a way for you to identify what it is. And then here's where you get into the show form. You can create classifications in your ratings category. Right now, you can see at the bottom the max total max point is 0. But let's say we want to start with the classifications. On the classification side, you want to create, let's say you just want to do a top 3, right? And understand that that's just the top 3, but everyone that's assigned to that classification will compete in that top 3. So if you have 100 cars or 200 cars, they'll list from the point totals that you have there, from the highest point total to the lowest, your top 3. And obviously, much like with your paper ballots, yes, there will be some ties. And so with that, you're going to have to go back and break that tie. I actually say that when you're doing the ratings category, instead of just creating your ratings category with your exterior, your engine, your tires and wheels, interior, and what have you, add yourself a little buffer, and that can just be something simply as extra points. And the extra points can be given to any particular one for, if they've got a really nice display, they've got, fire and safety, devices there, like a fire extinguisher or something like that, that the car didn't come with, even if they don't have like a nitrous bottle or what have you, just those kind of extra points to make that vehicle just stand out a little bit above the vehicle that it's competing against, whether it's in its class or whether it's a general competition in and of itself. So the next thing we're going to do is add a ratings category, and it's really simple. So you have this category here, and we're just going to say exterior. And it actually picks it up for us. And I say done. And I can choose whatever point scale I want. So everybody has an exterior. If you're one of those organizations that likes to give at least a minimum of a point or 2 for just competing, there you go. So automatically it'll give it a point. If you don't and you want to slide it from 0 to 20, you can do that from 0 to 20, whatever point scale you want to give it. If you want to give exterior 15 point total max, then you do that, you say add, and bam, it's there. So let's say for some reason or another, you don't want exterior, or at least in this particular way that I've listed it here, because this is the way that you'll see it on the show form when you go through the app in and of itself. Let's say you want to delete it. So there's a little X right next to the exterior to the right. You just tap on that X and it's gone. So you want to add that exterior, but let's say you want to add a little text, and you want to say a little text for paint. And we'll just leave it at 20 here. So now you see the rating was successfully added, and now you see exterior is paint and body, and you have your minimum scale and your maximum scale there, and your total max point of 20 points, and you can keep going down the list. So the thing that I want to get across in the ratings category is this is nothing more than simple text and a value to that text, and we add all of that up. So there's no more getting an army of folks to get together, and as you're running paper back and forth, someone trying to calculate out what someone's chicken scratch was on some clipboard out in a parking lot. It's all done through the system in and of itself. It's accurate, and therefore we don't have to worry about numbers or things like that being transposed to the incorrect values. So you just kind of go through that, and we're going to create another category here, and I'm going to call it engine. And I'm just going to leave it at 20 points, and you say okay, and then you can see the max total point there. It's adding it up, and then I say okay, I want to add tires and wheels, right? And I'll leave that at 20 points. As you can see, the max total point is going up. You can see the tires and wheels, and all I'm doing on the ratings categories, there's a plus. I'm just tapping on that plus, and then I'm adding the next category, right? So interior, right? And I'm just going to add it. And again, if you want to delete it, you just go down to whatever that ratings category was. You see interior to the right of it, there's an X. I just tap on that X. it's gone. And now you can see the point total went down to 60 points. So I go back up to ratings category, push the plus. It now gives me a new ratings category. I'm going to select, or I'm going to enter. I think I had interior there. We'll just leave it like so. Right, and now we've got a total score of 80 points. It's really up to you however you all do it as far as your organization is concerned. It can be 80, it can be 180, however you do it in 20-point increments. If you send me a request in regards to create a custom show form, if you have something greater than 20 points, I should be able to accommodate you on that up to about, I think, 25 to, I think I can go up to maybe even 40 points, but the slider gets really weird when you're trying to do really high numbers. Say if like you wanted 1,000 points for some ungodly reason, you would have to be very precise in the slider when you're doing your judging. So I try to keep it at a lower point total scale, just so that you can be able to do it. Again, you can create as many of these ratings categories as you want. I mean, you can literally create it by body panel and give it a point value if you wanted to. Left fender, right fender, quarter panel, each worth 5 points. It's completely and totally up to you. You know, front seat, front driver seat, front passenger seat, you know, bench seat, whatever it is. So you can do whatever you want to do. I just want you to understand that this is very simple. The ratings category is nothing more than simple text and a value attached to it. So again, we'll do one more and we'll say ratings category. So we'll tap that plus, and then we will enter in like oh, and one thing I almost forgot is the fact that you can have emojis in the ratings category if you wanted. I'm not sure as to why, but again, we're not limiting you. It's nothing more than text. The app can handle it. It's not a problem. If you want a, let's see, if you want a car there, boom, there's a car and you'll see it, and it's successfully added and it will show up there, as you can see. So now you see the max total point scale here is 100 points. Once you create this and you go back out, if you were to go back out again and come back in and you say create custom template, it will be there. So you can select this, but the one thing I want you to understand is when you're selecting, choose between when you're trying to create a show form and you're choosing between the template or the create custom template, you can only do one or the other. So you can do as many of the templates as you want, or you can create as many of the custom templates if you want, as you want. So if you have like a cars competing against bikes, competing against trucks, you don't have to have them all have the same show form. You can have a bike form, you can have a truck form, you can have a car form. Obviously, cars don't have truck beds and bikes don't have truck beds or back seats. Well, back seat in the traditional sense of a car. So that's pretty much about it. So I'm going to just go back to the create custom show form. I'm going to select this here. You submit it, and then you'll see it there under the show form. And then when you click submit, as long as you have all of that other data that's filled out there, from the judge to the show form, you're all set. And you can submit, and bam, the event was successfully added. Thank you.